someone's life. If Virat plays cricket, he does play cricket. If Virat playing cricket, that adds that value in your life. What you guys are going to do in your future is going to add value. Whatever jobs that you will finally end up doing, that's going to add value to the society that you live in. So I think this understanding, which in a way we all had, but particularly now because of what's happening, has made us all understand and value one another so much more than we would have earlier. And that's the beauty of this time. While it's a really difficult time and it's really hard on everybody, and everyone can vouch for that, it is also opening up this space in our minds where we can think about it and we can look at it in this way, which we probably wouldn't have been able to, because when life is moving on smoothly and everything is going the way it's meant to go, you don't have the time. You don't have the time to pause and actually notice all of these things. But now you do. Like I remember we were sitting on our plate and we were talking about how, we're eating this food. It's because somebody is planting this and someone is taking that produce and selling it somewhere. Some person is coming and buying it from there and putting it in a grocery store. Someone is there at the grocery store to give that out. All these people are doing something for this food to reach us. Because there's such few people working right now, we're understanding this way more now.
That has truly taken up the respect for everyone's work.
And no one's work is less, and no one's work is better than someone else's. Like we are not more special because of what we do. Everyone's doing something. Everyone's contributing to the society in a way, and without one person's effort, entire all systems can fail.
True.
And I think that's what this time has taught me very, very deeply. I'm sure even Virat feels the same way.
I mean, it's for us. We've started looking at things with a lot more compassion, and that for us is probably the biggest takeaway from what's happening, and with all the measures that we've been taking as well. So I think it's very important for everyone to stay positive, to stay optimistic, look for good in people, be compassionate. As we just mentioned, you can literally go into details of everyone's work and what everyone might be going through in their respective lives on a daily basis to make things happen for one another. So I think that compassion, that love, that respect has gone up.
Yeah, like all the sanitation workers who are going out there and they're doing the job that they're doing. All the healthcare professionals who are putting their lives at risk for all of us. And we're just, people are going to banks and doing their jobs. All of these people are putting their lives at risk. And we would have overlooked all of these things in normal times. I mean, whatever, if you can call them normal times. But now we don't. Now you're taking notice of all of these things. And similarly, everyone's contributing in some way or the other. So I think that's the learning from this. And I think what we've also noticed is a lot of people have become, I'm not saying, I wouldn't say they've become, but I think compassionate side of everyone's coming out, because everyone's really wanting to help one another. I can see that all around us. People just wanting to help another person. People just wanting to ease somebody's pain as much as they can. And everyone's looking for that opportunity, whether it's, feeding people who are needy, daily wage workers or whoever else is needy, or, going out there and feeding stray animals when you know that they're so dependent on a normal functioning society for their everyday meals. And I think all of these things are becoming very apparent, and people are showing the compassionate side, which is so sweet to see. And
I know. I hope that people continue to be this way, and we hope together
continue even after this time.
We literally make it a way of life.
Yeah.
And we hope that sharing a few of our experiences and the measures that we've taken really does make sense of the current situation for you guys as well. There are a few other things that we had to talk about. Obviously, we've spoken about the current situation and how to make sense and how to sort of stay positive in this time.
And whatever incidents stood out, for us during this current lockdown. And I think we've also been following it. By and large, we've been following it really well as a whole. The lockdown. And we're trying to be as united as we possibly can in these times, and I think that's a special takeaway from it.
Few more things that we wanted to sort of touch upon looking at the current situation was we've observed in a lot of places, in a lot of situations that people are doing things which they genuinely feel from their heart. Whether it's feeding strays, whether it's the healthcare workers, as Anushka mentioned, going into dangerous places and trying to help people, whether it's people getting food to the hungry, all these things are coming out of a lot of love and a lot of compassion. And I think this is something that has really inspired us. And, it has sort of pushed us into a direction where we want to also keep following this path of life. And I think as students as well, it will help a lot of students, I guess, when things are done from the right kind of intent.
Yeah.
When you're studying and you're pursuing your studying career or whatever interests you in academics, and you do it with full heart and with full commitment, like we see happening now, it makes a difference. So I think these learnings and these takeaways we can apply to our lives, and I'm sure students can apply that as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, these are, I think, a few things that we have observed during this lockdown that surely, I think, apply to any walk of life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can really benefit from that. Apart from that, I think we should also talk about our journey a bit.
Yeah.
The things that we have experienced and what we have gone through.
And if it can help you guys in finding some sort of understanding, deeper knowledge, or just some inspiration, we would be happy to share it. Yeah. So our dreams and how we work towards achieving them.
I mean, it's basically, I think we both have had a similar kind of journey
Yeah.
from where we started, and if you want to go.
Yeah, we're like 6 months apart. I'm 6 months older.
Yeah, she's 6 months older.
So yeah, but we've had similar trajectories
Yeah.
in our lives. I grew up in Bangalore, Virat grew up in Delhi. But we've come from similar backgrounds, regular middle class backgrounds. So I think for both of us, reaching where we reached in our lives is a huge achievement, and for our families as well. And we sort of, you can call the breakthroughs, call us as the breakthroughs of in our lives. And I think that's why maybe it makes it extra special for us to have reached here, because it's not just the achievements, it's not just what comes with the achievement, but it's how you get there, and how you get there from where you were. I think those are the things that both of us hold very special, and I think that's an area of mutual respect for one another, because we're married today, but we can both look at each other and know that we're both self-made, and we did things on our own terms. We always try to do the right thing in life and reached here. Dedicated, hard, put in the hard work, put in the hard work and the hours and all that it takes to continue persevering your goals. So I think that's something that we respect in one another. I think that's something that I love about him, he loves about me, and it gives us a ground for mutual admiration.
Yeah, I think what Anushka said is absolutely correct. Our journeys, without us knowing about it, were absolutely going parallel. And
we both debuted in 2008.
Yeah. We both debuted in 2008 in August. Her film started shooting in August.
No. I started shooting in like May, June.
Yeah.
But it released in December.
Released in December. I started playing in August, 18th August, I remember. And that was, I mean, we had no idea till we met how similar our careers were going, and 2008 being the year that we both came in. But the things that we connected.
It's also where we came from, which was very similar.
Yeah, very
regular
similar.
Middle class backgrounds.
Yeah.
Opportunities which we got, we worked really hard on working towards. And I
Yeah.
think Virat maybe had more clarity about what he was doing, because you started playing cricket when you were 8 years old. And
but I think without what you mentioned about working hard, pursuing something that you really believe in, being passionate about it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to, and we've interacted with a lot of kids, a lot of children who asked us this, that how did you end up getting to where you are in your careers? And the only thing we mentioned was our first and foremost focus was always how to do well in studies, along with what we were doing.
Absolutely.
And beyond the point, our passion was so strong for our careers, we chose those paths.
Yes,
but that doesn't mean we were not honest to our academics. So that's the thing we always mention.
Yeah. In fact, for me, when I was in school, I started modeling when I was very young. I was 14 years old when I did my first advertisement, and I would do some, fashion shows and stuff like that. I was very young, but I was so clear that I had to be good in my studies. So I would rank in the top, 3-4 ranks in my class, and I was a very good student because I just did not want my parents or anybody to tell me that you can't do this, you can't do modeling because you're not good in studies. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll be really good at studies, so nobody can raise questions or tell me that I can't continue what I want to do. So I think both of us, the good thing is both of us had clarity from a very young age about what we wanted to do, and we were very hardworking from a very, we talk about it. That's why I can speak for him and he can speak for me. We speak about this. Like for me, at the age of 14, knowing that this is what I want to do and I'm going to do everything to make this happen. And obviously, I didn't think of films. It was just modeling that I was doing, and I was happy with that. But yeah, getting there and you know, making sure that I was good in studies, so nobody sort of raised fingers and asked me to not do it. So I was like, मैं पढ़ाई इतनी अच्छी करूँगी तो कोई मुझे कुछ बोल ही नहीं पाएगा. But that was the reason.
I think the takeaway when we look back at our respective journeys for us is if you do truly love something, the conviction and the passion and the commitment behind it is very, very crucial.
Yeah.
If you are someone who is absolutely keen to pursue academics, you know, go for it with all your heart, all your energy, everything. You know, we chose our careers with full commitment, full passion,
Yes.
and we sacrificed everything else apart from that. So I think that is the takeaway, or that is the sort of, not advice, but that is a kind of a anecdote we could share with all of you,
you know,
if that can help.
And I also want to say that while that's something that you can do, I think there's another thing that maybe I would say from my own experience, that it's okay to not know right now also. You know, you can't possibly know everything. You can't have absolute clarity about your future, your careers. And it's okay, don't be hard on yourself, I would say, because things make sense slowly. You know, time just teaches you and shows you direction, and it's our experience. So many times we've been stuck in our careers. So many times we felt like, yeah, this is a dead end, and where do you go from here, or what do I do from here? But somehow the clarity comes in because you're being patient and you're not being hard on yourself. Because the minute you're going to get hard on yourself, there's a lot of negativity that comes in. There's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of like putting pressure on yourself and being unhappy, and nobody can work from that space. You can't work from a mental space like that. Your mind has to always be clean, and you have to continue to persevere for clarity over here, so that no matter what you're doing, or even if you don't know what you're doing, you are still leading your life in a way that things will start to make sense. But if this is all muddled up because of the pressure you're putting on yourself, you won't get that clarity. You just want to spoil things. So don't be hard on yourself, because I know that happens a lot, and we've done that when we were, you know, probably your age. Like we were sometimes we have been very hard on ourselves, and today we can say that, you know, when we're 31 years old,
it's all worth it. I think we can truly vouch for it, that it's all worth it. And when
just keep working hard.
Yeah, when you live like that, you will be able to take difficult decisions. Anushka has taken a lot in her career. You know, that gives you the strength to do what's not normal. When you've led your life like that, and when you've pursued your career like that. So we sincerely hope that it can help you in finding direction, finding light, and, you know, get inspired and just keep walking in the same direction. Don't worry about all the distractions. Don't get bogged down by anything. And we sincerely hope, you know, this has helped you in some way.
Yeah.
Now we move on to challenges. I think we've spoken about a few, but I think we can touch upon a few more where disappointments might have come in at some stage.
Yeah, disappointments, rejections, and you'll deal with that. You know, like I might deal with rejections in auditions when I was continuing. Virat might have experienced that in getting selected or not selected in his, you know, zonal matches or whatever. And you guys might feel that in your professions, in your own way. So I think rejections and disappointments are part of life. And you just have to really not put your head like down like that. You just have to know that you keep persevering and things will start to make sense. It's not the end of anything. If I or if Virat has started to feel at every stage in our life where we faced rejection or disappointment that, oh, it's right now, this is where you go from here, then we wouldn't have come so far. You know, so the headspace, mentally one has to be really strong, and mental discipline is so important. And I think that's something that's helped me. And he's superb at it, you know. So, you know.
No, I think we both sort of brought that mental strength to each other. We have been able to share that together, and I think when you speak of your journey and your challenges are similar, your timelines are similar, your moments where breakthroughs happened are similar. You learn a lot more. You understand that mindset and each other a lot more. And I think that's why we can talk to you about this with conviction. That challenges are times in your life that are there to teach you something. We used to feel very dejected, gutted about when things used to happen at that stage.
Because they didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But the most important thing from that was we never took the wrong route.
Yeah.
You know, we never took the easy way out. We always worked.
This we both can vouch. Like there is no easy way out. You have to do things the right way, the hard way, and that's the only way you can have satisfaction and you can have a good night's sleep. You know,
True.
Go to bed with the knowledge that I did not do anything wrong. Go to bed with the knowledge that I gave my everything, and even then if things don't happen, that is what it was, and I have to make the effort and accept it and move on in life and keep continuing. That's the only way you can have happiness, I think.
You know, I feel this is so cool that we are able to talk to you about this.
We've actually never done this. So
we've never done this.
We talk to each other about these things, but like never.
And especially to kids who are at that age where these things are very, very crucial.
And we've gone through that.
Yeah, we probably didn't have too many people who would say this to us, but we can share our experiences because we've gone through that whole graph. And we continue to do so even today. It's not like we don't feel disappointed, but we can process it better. So if you can do it at 15, 16, 14, it is amazing. You will be able to take on life in a much better way than we did. You won't waste so many years of your life trying to battle things out. I mean, you'll be mentally way stronger than we were. And that's the whole essence of it, try to help you guys and become better. So yeah, that's that. Teamwork, how we try to bring out the best in each other. I think this is something that we have always wanted to sort of share or speak about at length. And as we were just talking that, Anushka spoke of mental strength and how she has led her career and how I have been the same. But I think for me personally, the amount of strength that Anushka has given me, the amount of strength and clarity that she has given me in my life, even after having gone through my life till about 25 when we met, I couldn't have been more grateful for her presence in my life, because I learned so much more. I learned so much about a totally different point of view of life. Sometimes we can be so rigid, and until that one person comes in your life who improves your life in every way through her conviction of what's right, through her conviction of what is the right thing to be done in every situation, regardless of the repercussions, regardless of what the consequences might be. I think that has been the greatest blessing that has come into my life through Anushka, and I think that's the greatest strength of hers, that she's able to stick to the right thing and always hold her own whenever a decision has to be made. And she's certainly helped me in each and every moment since the time we've been together, and there's not been one moment that I can think like, I didn't receive any help from her. And for me, that's been, as I said, the biggest blessing in my life. Yeah, I mean, I can speak of.
It's so awkward to sit over and actually listen to it, but I think what I want to add to that is that as when Virat and me met each other, we understood that we hit it off very easily, because we were very real with one another from the beginning. There was no farce at all, and there was no pretense at all, because I think I was someone who was, what you see is what you get, and he was exactly like that. And we really thought it was very rare that we found each other, because it's really rare to have that kind of reality and someone who's been so real with you, and you can be yourself with them. So that happened when we met each other. But there's one thing that we promised to one another, and we continue to do that. And I think that's very important in any relationship, which is that when you're together and you're in a journey like we are as a married couple, it's a journey where we both are going to grow. And when we say grow, it's not just your achievements and your professional growth. It's also we will grow as people, and that growth is so important to both of us. Individual growth and evolution is so important to both of us that it's almost like a promise that we have to one another, that I will work on myself and my growth, and he will do that, so that we continue on this journey as true partners. And I think that's how we are able to have so much fun together, and we are enough for one another. Like we always say that, like we can just be with each other in like right now in a lockdown, and we don't need anything. We've not even been seeing so much TV. We've not really been like doing anything. Just like
we are also blessed that we actually love doing the same things.
Yeah.
Firstly, so teamwork. It's been a natural sort of a blessing from God for both of us that teamwork is very very easy and very natural to the both of us. The one thing that Anushka was saying about helping one another and showing teamwork, I think the fact that we have sort of grown to understand each other way more. I think what Anushka has shown me or brought into my awareness is being honest with each other, even when things are not sort of clear in our own heads. I think she's been always honest with where I'm going wrong. I am honest with giving her feedback about things, and that has helped us grow a lot. I think that is for us the biggest factor in teamwork,
Yeah.
where we can be absolutely honest.
And communication is very
Absolutely,
clear.
To be able to say things on each other's
Yeah.
face and say, this is what it is.
And knowing that the person has the best interest
Yes,
for another,
yes.
because I don't think in the world anybody can be a better well-wisher for me than him, and
True.
and he's for me. So I think that's something that we both are very clear on. So we have that good intent, and I think it's a blessing that we've managed to have this sort of a companionship.
Yeah, but I only had that kind of honesty and that kind of clarity in my game. In life,
But you had it. That's what
I
you
had
in
it,
your
but
game.
it came out in all walks of life because of you, because of her presence. Or to be honest, it came out way more because I used to live in my own cocoon and in my own sort of made-up world. And when things come to you differently, with so much love and so much trust, you accept them. You want to look at them and learn from them. And I think that's what it's all about when you have.
I think it's same for me. Like when
Yeah.
with Virat, while I'm a very disciplined person and I take care of whatever the food that I eat and the lifestyle that I follow, and towards my work I'm extremely disciplined. I'm very hardworking. But I think somewhere what I get from him is that perseverance of suppose. Like right now in a lockdown situation, there are times when you don't feel like working out because you're feeling demotivated, because there are days you feel like you have to push yourself. But I think he's so good with that. Like he will do it every single day. Like he will do the most boring things every day because it's important for his profession. Even though you probably don't have any idea as to when the next match is going to be. But even then to keep doing that, and he brings that in my life, and he brings more of that in my life. So I think we both just
Completing each other.
Yeah.
We both complete each other through every situation, and I think that's the biggest essence of our teamwork. And I hope that the way this can be applied to your environments could be relationships with family, could
Friends.
be relationship with friends,
Yeah.
could be relationships with your classmates or whatever it is. Have trust, have the ability to, as we said, look at everyone in a positive manner. Know that other people might be trying to help you, so not be too critical of them. I think these positive anecdotes will really really help you build trust and harmony. And in a harmonious environment, I think everyone learns way more.
Yeah.
And we've all experienced that in school as well. So
Yeah.
we really hope that these kind of things can be relevant to your situation, your life, your journey, and we really hope that this helps too. Okay, so next one is our success mantras, how we cracked it. I think we've touched upon
we've touched upon that
a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, I think to sum it up, if you want to say a couple of main things, the things that you always
Yeah.
do, or
For me, it's always been about doing the work and then not caring about the results. See, what happens in my profession, which is different from Virat's, is that I do the work and I get the results in like 6 months, 8 months. Like you
Yeah.
shoot a film and then you wait for 6 months for the film to release. So and really the validation, the gratification comes from an audience when they watch it. Like I can do something, but I don't know what what the result is till someone tells me, okay, it's good, not good, okay, whatever. So I think for me, it's what I've learned is that do the work and then don't think about the results. Like just put in everything. That's what I've done my entire career. Give it all. And then, like I said, go to bed feeling like I gave it my everything. And now it's all, left to whoever it's left to, whatever it's left to. So I think that's something that gives me peace of mind. Apart from whatever else we spoke about, the hard work and the perseverance, and not being hard on yourself, and we continue to learn. I'm continuing to learn. I plan to act till I'm 130. So I keep learning. And Virat plans to also play cricket till he's 130.
I think that's one of the things that I've observed with her for a long time now, and I think that is something that I've tried to bring into my life also. To not worry about the results too much, or not worry about the outcome, but enjoy the process and really be honest to the process. Apart from that, I think one more factor that I could share from my experience is that nothing should be left to chance. You should be able to come back home, or come back from your respective professions, or your school, college, whatever it is, and come back and say, I gave everything I had. If you have a lingering feeling somewhere that I could have done more, I could have probably done 10% more, I don't think that's acceptable, because if God has blessed us with this beautiful life and the ability to learn, to read, to grow, to be able to do things that we wish, I think it's very important to reciprocate and be absolutely honest in your efforts. And then not because you want results, but because it should be a thing of gratification, that you're grateful for this life and you want to reciprocate to God in this manner by being totally honest with what you all want to achieve in your respective fields. So these are our sort of main anecdotes and mantras for success, which will continue to follow even when I am done playing cricket for life. These mantras
they stick with you. They become
always
a part of your lifestyle, and that's what's important. Your professions, because all of us are going to have a profession for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
You're not going to keep working till actually 107 years old. So after I think that's what professions teach us. They teach us to how to evolve better into better people, into better individuals, so that we can lead our life with dignity and integrity and wholesomeness. And I think that's what we will take from our professions, and I'm sure you guys will from yours. So don't look at your professions as just a way and means to an end, which is money. That's another thing that I want to tell you all. I can guarantee you, both of us have never worked for laurels and for the money.
Yeah.
Do it for the right reason, and if the reason is just because you love doing what you do, it will give you back way more. It will give you back a better understanding of yourself. It will give you back growth. It will give you back a way to be able to lead the rest of your life. And life is life is huge. Life is everything. It's much bigger than any one of us. And when you get that from being honest towards your profession, I think you've succeeded in life.
I love that clarity. Okay, so I think we have touched upon a few topics.
I think we've gone a little over time, and we still have to answer some questions. So we'll try to be very quick with our answers and try to answer as many questions as we can.
Obviously, we can't take all questions, so we have a few. This one's directed to me from Arup Bose. It says, how do you cope when you don't get the desired output despite putting in your 100%? It's a very relevant, very good question, Arup.
Very relevant to your life.
Look, sport is a beautiful process. That is something that I've grown to realize now, that sport is actually a challenge that you go through every moment, and you're literally overcoming your fears, your anxieties, your hesitation every moment, and you're crossing that hurdle every time. Sometimes when things don't go your way, even after putting in your 100%, you have to accept it as a part of life. Sometimes we do everything in our abilities and still we do not become successful. But the question really is, why do we only ask this question when we don't do well? Why do we always say, why me, when we fail? Why can't we say, why me, when we succeed? Because there's no guarantees of success.
Yeah.
So if God's giving you a certain amount of success in your life, you have to be grateful for that. You can't keep pointing out the negatives all the time, because I think that also shifts your focus to something that's not important. As we said before, it's important to learn from the negatives, but also to move forward in a way that you are appreciating that those times came to make you a better person, to make you a better professional in your respective fields. So I have started to look at it now in this manner, which I wasn't being able to do before. I think if you can apply that in your life earlier, I think it will help you deal with a lot more situations, more difficult situations with a lot more composure. So this is the way I look at it now. That if you've given everything you have, that's it. You don't need to worry about anything else, because that's the only thing you can do. Other things are not in you. So I hope that helps. Next question is also for me.
Ankit.
From Ankit. During a test match, it's important to focus and stay calm on the field. How do you manage to do that? As a student, I want to know how I can maintain the same patience while studying. Look, to be honest, the patience bit, I have learned ever since me and Anushka met each other. I was a very impatient person before, and as I said before, the learnings from one another that we've had, looking at her personality, looking at her composure in situations, it's really inspired me to say, fight it out. Even when things are tough, you have to sort of swallow your ego and keep being there in adversity, keep fighting your way out, and eventually you will find a way. So that's what I've seen her do, and I've learned from that. And that is what I apply now. Whenever I am in a situation where things are totally against you, sometimes you have to play in a test match for 2 hours, score 20 runs, but the team wants you to do that. So you should be able to do that. And I think
you have to do what you have to do at that moment.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, look, as we said before, if you're really passionate about completing the course that you're doing, or the subject that you're learning, or the exam that you have to go for, if you're really focused on excelling in it, then you will find a way. I feel when you're not fully focused, when you're not fully into it, then you're always looking for some way to probably do things better. But I think when it comes naturally to you, when you're really into it and you really honestly want to do well in that particular exam, subject, or a course, you will find a way. Your naturally, your patience, your calmness, your sort of stability will come forward. So I think it's very important to find that first within you, and all these factors will take care of itself. So I hope that answers your question. Next one is for
me.
Yes.
The question's asked by Raima, and she's asking, what is the one incident that stands out from your school days? So, I went to Army Public School in Bangalore, and I've had some really good teachers there, and I was very close to them, and they've had a very lasting impression in my mind. My principal also. But the one teacher that I had in school, only because of this journey that I used to take. So I was, when my dad would drop me school, he would have a conversation with me because his journey was a little bit long, and he would just tell me one thing, and I think the thing that he told me has had such a lasting impression in my mind and in my personality, and the way I deal with challenges in life, that it's really been extremely special. So the thing that he told me was that, no matter what situation you're in, no matter how bad the situation is, always do the right thing and pray to God that what is the right thing to do in that moment. And the right thing to do would probably be always the harder way to do the same thing, but that's the only way in which you will feel content in life. And I think that's something that's stuck with me, because I was so young, and I really look up to my father. I think he's a very wise man, and he's had a huge impression in my life. So when he said that to me, it really stuck with me. And I think that is just because also I started working when I was so young. It was very important for me to know that, because at the age of 14, 15, when you're taking decisions for yourself in your career, it's really hard, So I always knew that I have to do the right thing. What's the right thing to do in any difficult situation? I'm going to do that, because that's just what's going to give me clarity. And that's what I did, and I think that's something that's always stood out for me. And I hope that can help anyone in any way that it can.
Wonderful. Okay, next question again is for Anushka.
So Monica is asking me, Monica Gupta, what are your tips for staying fit and maintaining a healthy diet during the COVID-19 lockdown? So the thing is that we're not doing anything very different from what we normally do. I think Virat and me are people who don't believe in diets and all of that. We just have a lifestyle which is very healthy. We've always been like that. There are certain things we don't eat because they're not good for you. I mean, we try to eat food which is alkaline, so it's kind of is easy on the stomach and keeps you healthy, because if your body is alkaline, your immunity is good. And that's something that we've always followed. But I think all of us are trying to do whatever we can to just boost our immunity. So whether it's, we've been having a lot of haldi so we're having haldi in the morning when we wake up. We're having haldi ginger and kali mirch ka chai, and we're trying to drink a lot of water. Sometimes we forget, but we're trying to drink a lot of water and just working out. Just more than anything else, it's just giving me a routine. It's giving Virat a routine. When you're working out, you're like, okay, chalo, I have something that I have to do now, and I'll do it, and you feel good after the workout. And when you go about to go to workout, it's just like, yaar, man nahi kar raha hai, jo bhi hai, but you have to push yourself. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Abhi karo na, do it, and you just go and you do that. So we're trying to do that because there's a lot of time in hand, and we're just trying to do things which will just keep us physically feeling good, immunity high, and also mentally feeling better. So that's what we're doing.
Great. The next question is for us together. How did you, this is from Prateek. Yeah, Prateek. How did you overcome all the failures in your life, especially when you felt like nothing's working out for you?
Okay. I sort of touched upon that.
Yeah, we have spoken about that a little bit. But I think if we can pick out one incident each, that'll be helpful for an answer. I think mine would be the first time I was rejected in the state selections. And I remember it was late at night and I just cried. I howled till about 3 in the morning and I could not believe it because I scored well. Everything was going perfectly for me. I performed and reached that stage, and then trial matches happened and then I was rejected. And then I kept asking my coach for 2 hours, why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? And I couldn't make sense of it. Yeah, you don't feel good. You feel dejected. You feel sad for a bit, but then again, as we mentioned before, when there's passion, when there's commitment, you get back up, and that motivation comes back to you because that's what you really love to do. So that's one incident I remember.
See, for me, it's happened so many times. You go for so many auditions for ads and for other things, and it just doesn't happen, and you get rejected. And so many times, I would be like the top 2 shortlisted girls, but never. It's always going to the other girl only, never coming to me. And it's that feeling of uncertainty, right? Because you start doubting yourself because you're like, am I not good enough? Like, am I wasting my time? What am I doing? And that's a scary thought to have, but somehow you have to get over it. You have to get over it and you have to start thinking positively again, and you have to believe in yourself. I think that's very, very important because the world will constantly make you feel like you're not good enough, and that's just how it is. But you have to have faith, and you have to have faith with absolute awareness also, and put in the hard work and all of that. So I think it's just perseverance. It's perseverance, and it's also a lot of acceptance, honestly. It's not just keep try. Sometimes just accept it. Like, don't be in denial about it. If things are not working out, then accept that it's not working out rather than fighting it. Because when you fight it, you're in a conflict. You're in a state of conflict with it, and that's not a good headspace to be in. So you just have to accept it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we hope that sort of answers your question in some way. The next one is for both of us again. How did you develop the self-belief to chase your dreams and achieve them? How did you make yourselves believe in something despite uncertainties? This is from Nisha Sinha. Well, self-belief, I think, again, we keep going back to the same point. When you love something so much and you're willing to give everything that you have, to that cause, to that goal, the belief comes by itself because I truly believe, and I'm sure Anushka believes the same, that honest hard work will always result in giving you a lot of belief in your own journey, despite the ups and downs. And yeah, we kept believing in ourselves because we knew that if we are giving so much to something that we love, there's always that feeling, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's always that feeling.
Yeah, it's that feeling. It's that something is going to happen.
Yeah,
and you go on. It doesn't go.
True.
And it's, and I think that happens when you truly want to go after something. And if you really love it. If you don't, then it probably is not the right thing that you're not doing the right thing maybe at that time in your life. Because if that feeling is not coming, that perseverance comes naturally. It's not something that you have to be hard on yourself for. And it does. It leads you. Honestly, I think life leads you. And I can vouch for it. Life has led me to where I am. And, sometimes you just put your head down and you follow.
Yeah, that's correct. I think one point to remember in all of this, the journey, the belief, the ups and downs, and, keep believing in yourself. Despite the uncertainties, the one point that stands out is that anything that makes you comfortable in your space when you are pursuing it means that that is not something that truly challenges you.
Yeah.
And that is not something that you truly love. If you truly love something and you're going after it with full force, there will be moments, or there will be majority of moments where you're pushed out of your comfort zone. And if you
In fact, there's more of that only.
yeah, I think 90% you're pushed out of your comfort zone, and if you can respect that and keep
Still want to do it.
persisting, yes,
Yeah.
keep the persistence going, then you obviously, that's the reciprocation from God. Then that you've stood the test of all these situations, and now I will bless you with
Yeah.
what you truly deserve. So keep persevering, keep persisting. That's the only way. There is no magic wand. There is no cheat code to this. There's only hard work and persistence throughout, which both of us can truly vouch for. So I hope that really answers your question. Okay, we have one more question from Nawab Kumar Singh. That's both of us.
Yeah. The question is, what was the toughest situation in your life, and how did you tackle it, especially after becoming the most celebrated couple of India? Oh,
So that's after we got married.
challenges. I think honestly, our relationship, like, we've had a lot of challenges. But what we both realized was those challenges were not coming from between us. They were just external challenges. They were just issues outside of our relationship. I think our companionship was so strong that it always stood up against it. And we didn't have to try hard for doing that.
True.
And we promised to each other that we never allow a third thing to get in between us, or any other influence in our life to come in between us, because we have that kind of trust and faith and in each other. So I think in a relationship that's very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after we got going on our journey together, there've always been challenges, especially when two people who are going through their individual careers, who are both at a certain place in their careers, who are both achieved. I think there are a lot of genuine love as well, looking at two people who are successful in their own right coming together. But I think there's a lot of negativity around that as well, where people are just not willing to accept that how can two successful people just be together and just look happy? This doesn't
Or be normal or whatever.
This doesn't look real, and I'm sure that you guys face a lot of this as well, where
judgment comes.
Yeah, genuinely you are happy about something, and then people doubt. No, this is not true, and then people start judging you, and then they try to bring that negativity into your life. So I think that's been our challenge constantly, to keep that away, to keep believing in love, to keep believing in our own journey together. And now we've become so strong together in neglecting those negative energies that those things have stopped bothering us now to the extent that it would have in in
and
our
also
early
we don't
stages.
expect people to understand also, which is totally fine. Like today if we're not feeling well, we don't expect people to understand that. Like if I'm talking to you right now, he's talking to you right now, we are talking to you right now, and we're holding on to a lot of things which are our challenges, and whatever, it could be sickness, it could be anything, but nobody understands that when they judge you or they say something about it. And that's totally fine. Like we have to understand that that's absolutely natural, and we just don't take that to heart, and we just stay true to who we are, and true to our beliefs and our just our own our thought process, and just our life.
I think it's very important to just stay true to your own self. Have confidence in your own existence. The bottom line is that you have to live life in a fearless manner. If you're doing the correct thing, if we are walking on the right path together, we are honest with each other, we are helping one another, we literally feel like there is no need to entertain any kind of outside force into this space that we have, into this blessing that we've been given by God. And I think together, having a life partner that can make you grow in your own space, you get the same from your life partner, there couldn't be a bigger blessing in life, to be honest.
Yes.
But even as individuals, we do have our own space. That is a blessing by God in itself. Even as individuals, you should stop worrying about the world. You should stop worrying about what people have to say. Un logon ne kya bol diya, wo log kya bolenge. I think these are forces that will constantly pull you down. And if you can keep going on, without caring about them, then your life will truly be beautiful and everything else will be beautiful. So this has been our learning. This has been our biggest learning, and this is what we can present to you through our experiences. So I hope that that helps. All the questions we've answered, everything we've gone over time, but honestly we've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
we haven't even looked at
we didn't
that
even
time
look at
and all
the,
that.
I just thought now and we realized that we've overshot the time that we were supposed to be speaking for, but we truly did enjoy it, and I hope you guys have the same experience. And
it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Anushka and myself both enjoy doing this. We love speaking to people in a way that we can help them. And
absolutely. I think that's one thing that we both enjoy the most. If there's any way in which we can help somebody, we can help them feel better, if we can help them, just understand things a little bit better and get clarity. I think that's something that gives us most happiness. So we hope we were able to do that with you guys, and also we hope that you guys have really successful lives. And when I say successful, I just don't mean with academic success or success of your professions. I mean a wholesome life where all of those things are there, but you also have succeeded in as individuals and has succeeded in your role towards the society and making the society a bit better than it was. And I hope that you guys form that in your life, and that becomes an essence of your existence. So yeah, lots of love to you all.
Yeah, we sincerely hope that, and I think to end it, we just want to leave you with something that we were discussing briefly before we got on to the discussion about how this is a very difficult time, but there's a positive side to all of this.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about, people have a choice how they want to come out of this phase and what kind of lives we want to lead going ahead. And,
yes, and I guess lives will be different.
Absolutely, absolutely. They'll be way more different than they were before. And I think if we can touch a little bit upon on that particular factor before we say goodbye to all the students, I think that'll be great. So if you want to explain that a little bit.
No, I just think that there's a learning in all of this, because nothing happens without a reason. So if this time is in front of us and we're all experiencing it, and like I said earlier, we're experiencing it with different intensities, but yeah, we are all in it together, and there's something to learn from it. There's a deeper understanding, a deeper meaning in all of this. We're all understanding how interconnected our lives are, how each one's life is dependent on the other. If the frontline workers were not there today, what they're doing for the society at the moment, we would not be able to do the basic things, which is eat food, have security, have healthcare. And I think it's connected us as a society. So I think it's important to respect one another. It's important to respect the work that each one does, no matter what your profession is. No one's profession is more important than the other. No one's more special than the other. So I think health is everything. We realize that more now than anything else. Right now, when you are in a situation where, health is right up there, and food is right up there, nutrition is right up there. These are basic things which you can be like, kya hai, when you're running behind success and this and that. But these things have become so important, and I think they continue to make people continue to understand that about their lives from these moments. And yeah, respect one another, respect each other no matter what, and that's very important.
Yeah, I think the biggest learning for us has been that life is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Do things that make you feel happy. Be happy in your own space. Stop trying to compete with the rest of the world, with people around you. Stop being part of any rat race. Do what makes you feel good, what gives you good sleep at night. And if
comparison is a thief of joy.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the best statement I've ever heard in my life.
You saw it in a gym. It was written in a gym somewhere.
So yeah, just be happy in your own space. Do good things. Try to help other people. And just live life in a harmonious way, and that's the only prayer that we have for everyone out there. And I hope that people can understand the same coming out of this situation. And with this session, we hope that we've given you some kind of joy, some kind of happiness. We've shared our moments.
You guys have given us some happiness.
We can't stop talking.
We can't stop talking. Yeah. And I actually wasn't even feeling well. And I'm feeling a little bit better after talking to you guys. So thank you for doing that. And I hope that you all are, happy and safe.
Yeah, take care of yourselves, and it's been great talking to all of you. And God bless you all. Hopefully, at some stage we meet some of you who attended this session, and you remind us of that. So please do the same, and we give you all our love and blessings. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.